This girl had been starving on a deserted island for 10 days. With great difficulty, she managed to find a seashell, but soon, the pungent fishy smell made her spit out. Jennifer turned her head and looked with envy at the young man in front of her. In front of him was a plate of sashimi. He would even dip it into a specially made sauce before eating, which hardly seemed like they were stranded on a deserted island. Jennifer was incredibly hungry and decided to use her beauty to her advantage. She swung her hips, casually passing by Manuel. Just as she expected, she hadn't taken 2 steps before he called out to her. With ease, she managed to lure him. Jennifer, who had been hungry for many days, no longer cared about her image and stuffed the fish into her mouth. Even if she choked, there was still delicious coconut juice to drink. After eating and drinking her fill, Jennifer gave Manuel a passionate kiss, making him her meal ticket from then on. From that day forward, with his diving goggles and superb survival skills, Manuel came back from his sea voyage with bountiful catches. Jennifer was not idle either. Through their collective efforts, they quickly built a straw hut. Slowly, Manuel's actions captivated Jennifer's heart. She would bring him water while he was working and unconsciously cuddle with him while they were sleeping. The pair gradually developed feelings for each other. However, some unexpected things happened. One day, while Manuel was out fishing, he discovered a man near the reefs and immediately rescued him. But when Jennifer saw this man, she ran towards him frantically. Only then did Manuel realize that they were a couple. Seeing their intimate interaction, Manuel was filled with unspoken bitterness. The man, who had seemingly come back from the dead, was also full of suspicion about their solo survival for so many days. To impress his girlfriend, he secretly lit a bonfire behind the two of them with a lighter. When they returned and saw it, they were both surprised. Now with a source of fire, they didn't need to eat raw food anymore. Just as they were happy about it, Jack started belittling Manuel. Though Manuel was angry, he still gave him food, but Jack was ungrateful. Taking advantage of their fishing trip, Jack divided the straw hut into 2. Manuel's portion was so small that it was barely livable. Manuel could not take it anymore and had a big quarrel with Jack, even angrily swearing that he would not provide him with food anymore. After Manuel left, Jennifer urged her boyfriend to apologize quickly. Without Manuel, they had no ability to survive. However, Jack stubbornly insisted he could manage. It didn't take long for him to face reality. Without a diving mask, he couldn't reach the deep waters and could only scrounge for parasitic crabs on the island to fill his stomach, which led to inevitable consequences. On the other hand, Manuel was able to catch large fish every day, and he often secretly gave some to Jennifer. In return, Jennifer shared their source of fire with Manuel. However, the smoke was too dense, and Jack quickly discovered it, assuming that Manuel had stolen his lighter. This led to a big fight on the beach, and it was only with the offer of a fish that Jack finally stopped the argument. However, he also developed an interest in Manuel's diving goggles. While Manuel was sleeping, Jack took them and excitedly began to fish in the sea. However, he soon became unhappy. When Manuel woke up and found his diving goggles missing, he stripped off his clothes, ready to settle the score with Jack.
I'm gonna fucking get him!
He's just hungry, Manuel. We're both just hungry.
No matter how much Jennifer tried to stop him, it was useless. During the struggle, Jennifer's clothes fell off. When Jack returned and threw the goggles back to Manuel, Manuel was not angry, but instead looked at him calmly. Jack sensed something was off, but didn't think too much of it. Upon returning to the hut, he excitedly showed his girlfriend his loot. However, his girlfriend, who had been starving for several days, couldn't muster the energy to be enthusiastic. Under Jack's relentless questioning, he finally realized that in the short period of time, his girlfriend had betrayed him. Jack was instantly furious. No matter how much Jennifer kneeled on the ground and pleaded with him, Jack found it hard to accept. He then grabbed Jennifer by the hair and angrily dragged her to the side of Manuel's straw hut. He leaving with disgust while making a bold decision in his heart